Lock it away. Yes, indeed. It's a Friday. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good Friday. TGIF it over here as we, we carry the load. You think Charlie caught some fish? On the boat.
I'm going to take the under.
Well, what are you going to put it at?
He probably watched some people catch some fish. I don't know that he caught any fish. He might caught some fish.
So let's put the over under and a half.
Under.
Oh, God.
Sorry, Charlie.
I mean, they've gotten guides that can set the hook for them, the whole thing. I mean, it's just all you got to do is reel it in, huh? Zippo.
Maybe I'm not giving him any credit,
Wow.
but
not even a rooster fish.
Does it count if you're like drinking the whole time and then you like get a reel on the end, like somebody else catches it and you help reel
that's
in?
what's happening, Matt. Yes, it counts. Yes. I mean, no. Charlie is not. He is not baiting his own hook.
But how long does he have to reel for it to count as his? Like you can't just reel it in for 5 minutes. If it's like a
I think 5 minutes is all we can.
That's what I'm worried about.
I mean, I think 5 minutes is more than ample to.
So we're counting
to validate. Yeah.
All right. Then he caught one. I believe in you,
we're
Charlie.
talking about. I mean, holding the net is not.
Well, that's what you have to set some standards.
There are parameters because I mean, all right. How much will he have a picture of a big fish?
Yes.
He will?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. He'll send us one.
Okay.
I hope so.
Okay. All right. So we were at walk-ons yesterday, and we're getting off in the Sports Center. It's kind of explain what's going on with this Thursday afternoon Sports Center.
Looks
over
like
at the Maravich Assembly Center as they celebrate.
Yeah, Sports Center doing some on-campus editions midday. So they had one of their anchors here.
Well, I mean,
live.
Who did they start with? Start with Livy Dunn.
Livy Dunn I think that was pre-recorded, but a little gymnastics.
Hottest thing going. I mean, there you go. Let's go. Where's gymnastics? There you go. I mean, everybody likes Livy Dunn. Can't get enough Livy Dunn. So, I'm a Livy Dunn fan. I'll admit it. Let's go. I can't blame them for that. So, who do they get out of the Livy Dunn piece? The anchor does a little gymnastics. She tumbles into the little Toys R Us thing or whatever that thing is. What is that thing they have at the gymnastics thing with all the
like a little
they fall into the
foam pit?
It's like a Chuck E. Cheese kind of deal or something. I don't know. But anyway, they she did all that, and then they come back when who do they have next?
Flauget and Nisa Moro.
Is it Flauget or Flauget?
Flauget. I've had to correct myself.
Oh, really?
Flauget.
Because camouflage is it like Flauget?
I guess so. I'm sorry. I butchered that.
What's her daddy's name? What's his handle? Camouflage, right? It's not camouflage.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, good point. I didn't think about
but it's a name you can pronounce it. I'm asking you, Max. Come on, Max.
Flauget.
Okay. Camouflage.
Okay. I didn't put
Baton
two and two
Rouge,
together. But yes, sure.
So you said it. So the women's sports. I mean, do they do the women's soccer team while they're here? Or did they do the softball team? Katarina?
Well,
next?
they had the number one.
We're Title IX U, baby.
Number one team in the country was there the night before. Maybe if they upset them, they would have talked about that a little bit, but they did not. So.
They the basket. Nobody from the basketball team was.
I did not see Matt McMahon. No. Did not see Cam Carter, unfortunately.
Did you watch the women's game last night? It was good.
Watched a little bit of it. I unfortunately,
Go ahead, Kenny White, -6. Hello. A big 18-point lead. Boom. Here comes the Sooners. Cut it to 1. My girl from North Lena, boom, knocks down a 3. Steal for a layup, a breakaway. And all we needed was 1 of 2 from the line. Perfect. Cover the number. Go ahead and go, little general.
Yeah, hand in the air. Call me a bad guy. I turned it off when she was up like 15 in the fourth quarter. I thought it was kind of over. Next thing you know, I hear it was really tight down the stretch.
Final score is newsy as it gets. Regulation game. What's the final score? Both teams scored 100.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a sport that gets criticized for missed layups and things like that, below the rim action. Just kind of let's calm down, let's pump the brakes on how excited we get about women's basketball. The sports we like to cheer are things we can't do ourselves, and some people and a lot of weekend warriors think they can do what they're doing out on the court. Sometimes. But I don't care what size the ball is. What if 107 to 100?
Yeah, and it was an exciting game. You
No,
had
that's
some
that's no, that's
physicality. You know,
well, they
it
were
was
just knocking down shots, baby.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was
107 to 100. So
high
that's
quality. Both teams shot over 50% from the floor. LSU shot 46% from beyond the arc. So
46.
It was a very good game. Yeah.
That's a mental note, huh? Oklahoma's not bad. You shoot 46% from three, and you got a 1-point lead with a minute to go. Damn.
Got to work on some
Oklahoma's
things.
top 10?
Yeah, 13.
13.
This loss for them. It's a tough conference too. I mean, just like the SEC is good in men's basketball, you know, Oklahoma's 4-4 in conference play, and they're ranked 13th in the country.
Yeah. So last night UCLA continues their way. They destroyed Oregon, so we get that one. And our earlier outer lock, Penn State, they got destroyed themselves. Ohio State. One of those games you can watch early and say, "Oh, we're in trouble here." No doubt about that. So we got that. LSU in the men's, since SportsCenter didn't cover them, we can cover them, huh? Sure. Who we got tomorrow coming in?
Texas is coming in. Texas is playing a little better right now. Rodney Terry's doing a better job. I think I was concerned that they would be one of those odd teams out, like LSU, like South Carolina in the conference, where you just run into too much, and by the end of the season, you're kind of going downhill. You kind of lost your focus, and you're not as determined because the season's you're playing out the season. But so far they've done a pretty good job of bouncing back with wins over A&M, and in the midweek.
Man, they gave Ole Miss all they could handle. Man, it was a wild comeback. I mean, I never gave them a chance to come back in that A&M game. They were down a lot late, and they were kind of chipping away, but as much as 21 right before or after halftime, right around that the midway point. And they got it down to 13, okay, with maybe 11 minutes ago. And they got it down to 8 with maybe 7 minutes ago. And they got it all the way down, and then they hit that shot, the first lead of the game. How many of those games have we had in the SEC this year where one team doesn't lead the entire game until the final end? It was Texas at home against Texas A&M. We saw Texas A&M do it to Ole Miss on the road. We saw South Carolina, who's 0-8 in the league. They had it done to them by Florida over there. So we'll see. The big game is at 11 a.m. tomorrow in the SEC. By the way, in the LSU thing, the LSU time, this is a real good, if you had some excitement about the basketball team, 5 o'clock tip, it's good, man. You can do you got your youth league basketball in the morning or early, and then you easily make it to the game. You could do either or. You can go do a late ones at maybe 1 or 2 o'clock, watch a couple of basketball games before you head over to the PMAC. And you can still do dinner after and whatever. You get out of there at 7 o'clock. It's a great time that's conducive to really some big crowds. The weather's cooperative. I mean, it's not snowing. It's not, 102 degrees. I mean, it's okay. So it would be good if they could get a crowd. But I think we'll see about that. Florida, Tennessee. And Tennessee, man, a lot of our national contributors, including Matt Humans yesterday, I think Tim Murray, a lot of our guys, actually like, man, I'm off of Tennessee. They cannot score. And this is sort of the narrative. It's been the narrative for about 6, 8, 10 years under Barnes, minus the Dalton Connect year. Last year, he was their dynamic scorer, and he did everything he could in that loss to Purdue. One, Purdue was a great team. Purdue was clearly the second best team in the country, and because UConn was much the best, Purdue was much the second best. And also, the style of officiating really killed Tennessee's chances. Anything you touched, Edie, it put him at the line. I think he went to the line for like 24 free throws or something, and he made a lot of them. It just was. If it would have been called, they would have ate the whistle a little bit more. Tennessee, I think, would have won. And Tennessee, I think, could have beaten anybody but UConn last year. They may have been the third best team in college basketball last year. Tennessee, we talked about Zakai Ziegler and how he has just failed to improve with the years that he's been there. It's been 4 years. He should be making better decisions. When he's a below 30% three-point shooter, should not be shooting 17 shots when he only makes one of them in the last 2 games against Auburn and Kentucky. And so everybody's now on Florida here. Kind of a buy low spot for Tennessee, Max? Huh? I mean, I don't know. I'm worried about that number. I think Tennessee's overall body of work, they're not that far removed from being number one in the country. Not saying that they're the number one power rating, but they probably were deserving of that number one ranking. Their resume is really good, but they're in a little bit of a struggle. Is it buy low spot or is it poor form? That's $1 million question when you handicap. And but I'll tell you what, I see a lot of publicity on Florida right now, feeling that Tennessee is down. I don't know. I'm feeling a buy low spot.
We're seeing Tennessee minus 3.5.
Is that okay?
So we do have a line on that.
I'll take under 5. Absolutely.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, this is a spot. You mentioned how Tennessee's not good offensively. They're 13th in the conference in field goal percentage. They shoot under 45%.
And listen, and that's the number. And what you watch, they've got one guy who can create off the dribble. Z-Man. And that's
your favorite.
I mean, okay, come on, man. I mean, the 5'9" guy. The guy from North Florida always is Ches Lanier, I believe is his name. He's a catch and shoot guy. He's not a guy he's a good catch and shoot guy, but they need to have flow. And Ziegler needs to concentrate on creating for his teammates, penetrate, draw some help from a guy, and then dish it to, as he creates some. When the guy helps on you, he creates some space, and then you give it to him. As far as just, hey, here, Lanier, take your man. They don't have those guys. They just don't have those guys. Well, Ziegler needs to worry about creating for his teammates more than creating for himself. After how many games has this guy started? I mean, we're still having this conversation, but that's where we are.
One thing is, I think, maybe you watched a Saturday big top 10 matchup in Florida and Kentucky. Maybe that's about all you've seen in Florida, and you think they're a really high-flying offensive team that can't play defense. But that game was well defended. It was just electric scoring. They were very efficient. Those teams are very good at generating looks. So this game will probably be lower scoring than you might expect from the Florida team. Of course, Tennessee's going to drag it down, scoring-wise, but Florida can do that as well. Florida can play a defensive type of game just because they've played in some shootouts. It doesn't mean that's not in their DNA to defend.
We were together down in New Orleans, pre-gaming the Pelicans game. We went to the taco joint, the taco margarita joint. What's the name of it? Johnny Sanchez. And we were watching Florida State.
Yeah.
Remember? And we had lots of matinee games. Alabama was playing Purdue, and they had, and I'm like, Max, Florida got some guys. They got some guys. And I mean, if you're gonna just, brush off, some of the golden stuff. I mean, he got right at the right time. If he had his team last year, he'd probably be gone by now. But that's the way it goes. But with the allegations there. But they're good, man.
No, Tennessee is number one in both opponent field goal percentage and 3-point field goal percentage. Florida's number 2 in both those stats. Like, they've played in some high-scoring games, but they are defending at a high level this year in conference.
This Tennessee. Tennessee's number 1.
Tennessee's number 1 in the conference.
Florida's number 2.
Florida's number 2 in defense. So they can score, but they can also defend. Like,
no, well, that's what I'm saying. They had some length too.
No doubt.
And some rim defenders. They got some guys that they have.
They can rebound. They're a good rebounder.
100%.
So this is going to be a tough ask for Tennessee. I agree with you. It's a good spot for them, but they could start snowballing here because Florida is absolutely a good matchup for Tennessee.
This is why Tennessee. This is what happened the first time they played. Embarrassed. When you get embarrassed, that'll get you attention. You're easy to coach. Okay, they destroyed the people by like 40.
It wasn't.
It was as big of a beatdown.
Uncompetitive.
As you can have. So, a little revenge, a little bit.
But the line's telling you that Florida's the better team, and I would agree with that at this point because that's where Tennessee is. But it is a good spot, and like you said, there's a lot of trends, a lot of angles that would signal the Volunteers.
Yeah, I'll take Tennessee at home at a buy low spot. I'll ask Chris Massaro for that. We'll ask Bruce Marks. We'll ask Troy Macker. That's a good one. Got another one that catches my attention early in college basketball tomorrow as well. Pitt and West Virginia. We always talk about that beautiful facility in Pitt, the Peterson Event Center. Check it out. Court level Suites. I mean, always every basketball suite is not the best seats. No, these are court level suites. Beautiful view. It is the state of the art and has been for 20 years. It is just awesome. It was a blackout game for them. Back and forth game against North Carolina. They won it. A little bit of a hangover spot going to Winston-Salem, where maybe you're catching points. Wake Forest lost their first game of the season at home Saturday to Duke. Duke might be the number one seed in the tournament when it comes out. The way they're running through the ACC, a weaker ACC, they still covered that 11.5. They're catching points at home. Give me Wake Forest. And now we're live here at Ruffino's today. Our appetizer features today the crispy calamari, pork belly, the lobster ravioli. That's right. That's our appetizer features today. Soup and salad features duck and andouille gumbo with color of the roux. One is light, 10 is dark. Where are we at?
We're about an 8.
About an 8. But an 8, yes.
Like
yes. We like dark roux.
Now we're
Yes.
talking.
There we go. Max and I on the same page there. The burrata salad with the red pesto, balsamic caviar. Man, you talk about good stuff. Those fresh tomatoes with the burrata cheese. Excellent stuff. Sweet basil and some olive oil. Entree features the herb-crusted New Zealand lamb chops with the potato pave and Italian salsa verde. Suggested wine pairing is La Crema Pinot Noir from Sonoma. Fried speckled trout, jumbo lump crab meat on top of the brown butter and steamed asparagus on the side. Suggested wine pairing is the Pejou Chardonnay from Napa. In the oven roasted prime rib, mashed Yukon potatoes au jus. Suggested wine pairing is a Turnbull Cabernet. We are participating in it's just to wrapping it up. It's a restaurant week over here at Ruffino's. Wrapping up today and tomorrow. 3 courses for $60. Your choice of the appetizers: calamari, pork belly, or ravioli, super salad, andouille gumbo, or a burrata salad, or the 3 entrees that I talked about. Just $60. That's tonight and through the weekend. Look at the week. Chris Lucero from PD, baby, from San Diego. When we return, get out some of his college basketball picks. He's got a couple tonight and some for the weekend. Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I think it's through like Monday.
Oh, you're right.
I looked at some of the other courses. They've got a good one.
So
They got one of the best ones.
tomorrow's the first, second. Yes, it is true. Okay.
Max, you said Tennessee's 13th in field goal percentage.
No, they're
In
a
the conference,
defensive
yeah.
team. There's no doubt.
Besides us, we've won.
No, we're better.
What's the total?
We had a very efficient game against Auburn.
Finally.
Yeah, but we turned it over 15 times in the first half.
that is.
That to me is our biggest issue.
It is.
And I disagree with Hunt on this.
I agree with you.
I said it. They need to push the pace. I don't care if they turn the ball. If that's in their DNA, they're going to turn the ball over whether they slow it down or not. Like, you might as well just. They got better looks because they were, in the fast break, in transition.
Now
They're set offenses.
It's been around since
Terrible.
80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like from Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order.
Hey, what's you got a total in Tennessee?
20 minutes. We'll have it ready.
141 and a half.
Now 6:30 a.m. to
So,
2:30 p.m.
so what do they do best?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Make a point to stop by and visit
If they win,
Louis
it's under.
just outside the north gate.
You control your effort. They would defend their asses.
I was thinking under too.
Yes, they are going to. What they can control, what they do best, they're going to defend their ass off.
I mean, they're telling you 72-69. That seems a
You
little
can have,
high.
you can have a 31-25 halftime score.
Tubes and syringes. Next time you're at the
Who's
doctor's
that guy? I
office,
hadn't seen him on
remember
before.
Industry
In the
Next.
middle.
Let others make noise. We make everything else. Visit
Yeah, how much can we take?
industrynext.org.
They're not even funny.
Happy 10th anniversary to Vex European. That's 10 years of service, 10
Jim.
years of specialization.
You said
10
Tennessee
years
Florence
of
at 11.
expertise. If you drive
11
a
a.m.,
vehicle,
yeah.
check them out online at vexeuropean.com. VexEuropean.com. That's Vex with a V.
It's a new year.
This is beautiful.
We have so many people figure out the IRS issue.
Are we sure that's not a?
Just a group of underdogs playing with hard hustle and
The
good
IRS
brains.
isn't going away. Matter of fact, they're
It's not
ramping
a
up their
fake
efforts.
quote.
So now's the time to call the Bison Law Firm.
On ESPN or
I know, but sometimes they can be That's
If you
the
have
AI
old
generated.
levies, tax liens, and unpaid taxes, call the
I don't doubt
Wilson
that he
Law
said
Firm
it.
and let us get out in front
Oh,
of the IRS.
even Ethan and them
Advise
on
you
high
the
school
best
in
resolution
his
plan.
sophomore.
IRS problems are
We're like
legal
big
problems.
problems.
So call the Bryson Law Firm.
Talking about
We're local.
books
Our headquarters
that
are in
he
Lafayette.
supposedly
Oh, yeah.
read and
He
stuff
was-
like that.
He brought in a book one time in the locker room and said, "I've been reading Great Read." And they said, "Can you? What's like one thing you like about it?" And he could not answer.
Right.
It's so clear he did not read it.
LSDA College, LO23161.
With Moss Max and West Tex.
You didn't go to college, dude. You can't,
Friday,
you know.
6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and craft
First
beer.
half,
Roca Pizzeria, 3897
I
Government.
like
Do
Tennessee
you feel
too.
like you get hurt at the most inconvenient
Or-
times? Rock's After Hours Clinic has you covered for a break, sprain, or strain. Open 7 days a week, nights and weekends. Walk-ins welcome. Learn more, brortho.com.
Now that it's cooler outside, this is the perfect time of year to get new windows, doors, and siding by calling me, Tommy, from Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding.
This is one I
Set
can
up your
kind of
free quote
predict
today
pregame.
at GoTommys.com. That's GEAUX Tommys.com.
Rouse's Markets has been baking Mardi Gras king cakes for 65 years. Their king cake crew bakes more than 600,000 king cakes during carnival season. You can smell that
Oh, what's
gourmet
going on,
cinnamon
man?
dough throughout the store. Rouse's makes traditional king cakes and filled king cakes and new specialty king cake flavors every year.
Go get a
Send
cake.
someone a taste of Mardi Gras. Rouse's ships their award-winning king cakes anywhere in the continental U.S.
No, I know. I've been,
Official supermarket of the
I've been
state.
telling you. It's because, I mean, until they get rid of it, everybody. It's looking for us, you know, we're like kind of here and paying attention a lot. The whole world knows.
Nobody's turn now.
I mean, how about that?
You know, come back to where you started. And
I know.
Live at lunch with Aunt Annie from Ruffino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Panties fishing at Cabo. The over-under is a half. Well, Sarah, who you got? The over or under on Hanny catching a fish in Cabo?
Fisherman, I didn't know. You guys sat by the river and got those.
They get those in ponds, but anyway, he's one of the most respected deep south angler around, man. You know, no, he's really tequila and stuff. Anyway, so hey, man, got a game in college basketball. Early start tomorrow, 9 a.m. your time, 11 a.m. our time in Tennessee and Florida. And the narrative is, it's something I've heard a lot, and I agree with it as well. And that is, in Tennessee with that offense, I don't know about him really having a shot to win it all. You know, Barnes never even got to a Final Four. He had a Final Four team last year, but he had a dynamic score and connect as well. But here they are after they lose 2 in a row, and now in an embarrassed spot. And Max, I forget, they lost by 40 or 45 or whatever it was down in Gainesville earlier. And here comes Florida Town, Tennessee 3.5. Buy low spot on Tennessee in an emotional angle, or just not enough firepower to compete with the talented Gators. How you see it?
That game back about a month ago, I remember I was on Tennessee total. Obviously, did not get that as they shot 4 for 29 and 3. And 2 of the 3 came in the last minute of the game. They were actually they lost by 30, but I think the largest lead was the largest lead was close to 40. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know if, like you said, it looks like the perfect spot for Bangs or at home. But if you look at the last 2 games against top-notch competition, SEC, the Kai Ziegler, 1 for 11 last game versus Kentucky from 3, 0 for 6 from 3 versus Auburn. Jazz Lanier, 3 for 10 versus Oregon, 6 for Auburn before that. So the 2 best players are starting 6 for 33. In Florida, I mean, they're a good offensive team, but they're also a solid defensive team. they're one of the top 10 teams in the top 15 defensive teams on the country. So I'm just not sure about what is there, and I'm not going to jump on Tennessee because of the spot because the two best players aren't shooting well. So I'm going to just steer clear of this game. I can see everyone sitting in the angle, and you want to take that home dog in this type of atmosphere off of revenge. But if the two best players not shooting too hard, I'm going to pass.
Well, that may be the problem because guys will pay attention. If you think Ziegler is the second best player on the team, I'm not. He's been one that he has not improved one iota. He may have gotten worse. I mean, when you're a below 30% three-point shooter, you shoot it 17 times and you make one, that's a problem. I mean, quit shooting, dude. I mean, create for your teammates, and quit trying to call the number yourself. But Charlie and I go round and round on Zakai Ziegler.
That's the problem in the league. I don't know if you watched the Illinois game last night. The team could not make a three-point basket. Every time they went inside, they scored on Nebraska, who was an undersized team. They're dominating the rebound, but they just refused to shoot anything but three. And you got to wonder, like a coach like Brad Underwood, is one of the better coaches.
Yeah.
They don't change the game plan in the mid-game. That's why I love coaches like Ruffino. They can come out, go put it down, second half, you got to go with what's working. Like you said, if they're 1 for 17, the last 2 games, they're going to come out to another 10 first quarter. If they do, they're probably not going to win. They're probably going to lose.
Man, we're on the same wave. I'm watching the game last night, and I'm thinking Underwood the same thing. I'm like, I'm losing some respect for how your team's making these decisions right now. It's funny you bring that up, Chris, because that's exactly the same thing. I'm like, this is not a smart team. And they hit a few shots to kind of scramble. They actually had the shot to win it at the end of regulation. But I'm like, man, what is going on? Now, they have their guy, their foreign player, who's out right now, who they just, yeah. Right. Yes.
They decide to waste all the time to shoot a corner fadeaway three to win, and then get blown out overtime. I agree with that. I lost some respect for Underwood last night.
We're on the same page. All right, let's look at tonight and some of your picks that you have zeroed in on, and a good one in the A10. Dayton 14-7 against St. Louis 13-8. This is 6 o'clock tip on ESPN2, and Larry Nerd has resurfaced, and they're coming off one of their big wins, 78-69 over VCU. Talking about the Billikens from St. Louis, and now they're home again here against Dayton. Dayton had a big lead last Friday night, but got backdoored. You're on who you on in this one?
It's a little bit of a by-road spot. I mean, last Tuesday night, they got blown out, kind of embarrassed at St. Bonaventure. The old shot, 8-24 from 3. Bonnie's were just on fire, 12-25 from 3, 48%. So I'm thinking a little bit of bounce back, a little bit of embarrassment. Hopefully, Anthony Grant can get the big flyers, one of the top 40 offenses going. Down a little bit to go high on St. Louis off the biggest year of the year. Over VCU, as you mentioned, but I think this is like a game where it was more indicative of what VCU did than what St. Louis did. VCU got 5 of 31 3, only 60%. So I think that Dayton has the offense to go against the St. Louis defense. It's a little questionable, and I think when you grab
Yeah, Chris, you think about Avila and Josh Schertz bringing in that offense from Indiana State. You think they'd be in a high-scoring team. They're 15-4 to the unders this year. So St. Louis, they're struggling a little bit offensively.
Yeah. All right, that'll lead. All right, the Battle of Indiana. In one corner, we've got Matt Humans. The other corner, Wes Reynolds. It's Purdue versus Indiana. It's the Golf Picks versus the Curmudgeon. Who you got? 12-point favorite, Purdue at home.
know if it's a strategy this year. I've been looking at a few, but I don't think I know Purdue has some big metrics, but I don't think they're at least, even though they came off a good blowout win against Michigan, you can't do the big loss against Ohio State. Like, if you really do that, the size of Indiana, one of the things I think that's exciting for the state line was very, very hard. They have a very nice coach. It's not crazy.
Yeah.
How are you?
Purdue's not that great coverage. 2-point gap. I just followed it. You I like Indiana Anderson the number in a high scoring game. I think you set up.
Yeah. All right, 12 is what we have right now. Our local shop for Queen, a DraftKings outlet. Got another line out on one of these games tomorrow. This one just put out by DraftKings. And Auburn, number one team in the country, going to Oxford, 5.5. 5.5 is the number, and the total. Let me see, 5.5. I'm sorry, 5.5 and 149.5, Chris.
I'm leaning towards the home team here.
Lobster ravioli.
That's
what I read this morning.
Auburn didn't keep it that well. LSU actually
All right, I'm on it as well. Plus 200 money line available at the Queen right now as well. And finally, up against the clock here, Chris. Kansas and Baylor. We got this line out as well, and it is 1.5. Kansas on the road at Waco, 1.5, 145.5. And you lean in the under on Charlie at 4.5 crawfish, right? You catch it down in Cabo? Okay.
Good call.
Good call. Wait. See what the parlay pays on that one. Oh, we got like 1,200? Oh, all right. Well, it might still be worth it. Chris, thank you, buddy. Good luck this weekend in your picks. We'll talk to you next week. All right. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings, 296-0060. Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Andrew Galata, Michael Platter. Great team at Legacy Title. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Just Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, 296-0060. Troy Backer of Bet Rivers, letting you know where the early action is. Super Bowl props and others. And he's a big college basketball enthusiast, and he likes him. He's got a great menu tomorrow in college hoops. Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bet Rivers posted 6.5.
Who?
A&M, 6.5.
Oh, yeah, that's what I got here, too. 6.5. Oh, bet the DraftKings says Kentucky
Visit 1045ESPN.com for a complete list of games you'll hear on 1045 FM, 1049 FM, and 98.1 HD2. Listen to the new show on 1045 ESPN News, presented by Industry Mix. We'll make everything else.
Cabo sandwich.
When your business needs a brand to deliver and receive things free and savings are for year-end full cost from 2024 tax. Visit us on Airline Highway in Baton Rouge or 3DOCR.com today.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure and versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need it. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is a trusted partner for flexible space storage. Workbox 343-4886 and Workbox LLC.
Technology, a modern blessing, but a curse in issues of life. Red Business is your human touch in the digital world, with personal support and meaningful solutions to your real-world challenges. We are a local team that will do whatever it takes to make you profit money. Sign up for internet, hosted phone, and security with our no-risk 90-day guarantee. For internet, hosted phone, and security, experience the difference of working with Red Business. 90 years connecting with museum. Visit letsred.biz.
Take a swing around Paris to one of Breck's 5 golf courses. 2 championship courses, San Maria and Beaver Creek, and 3 courses for the more casual golfer. The popular 18-hole Web Park and 2 9-hole courses, City Park and the newly renovated CS Park. Breck's courses are designed to challenge every level of golfer from beginner to pro. So come and get into the swing. Book your tee time online or find a course in at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org.
Kansas City Chiefs look to make history and capture their third straight Super Bowl title when they take on Chargers and the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday, February 9th. For most weekends, kickoff set for 5:30 p.m. is Roberts Casino Hotel Baton
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he was there.
Okay. If you're looking for a team that can help you achieve your financial goals, come to one of the Elite International Bank, Uncommon Bank, Equal Housing Loans, member FDIC.
Happy New Year from all of us at Trash Rangers.
What's Anthony saying about this basketball team?
TrashRangers.com and make the switch today.
Value Ford and value.
Tough league, buddy. And you're not supported, it doesn't look like voluntarily.
Auburn, Alabama, and Tennessee are all top 10 teams. We got more Final Fours than all of them put together. I do that. And I went to Alabama to see a game. That is a dump of a facility. That guy's going to be garbage. All right, let's go up to Troy Macker, my man. Troy, have you recovered? You've had a week now to kind of get over the Redskins, the Commanders, the Washington football team, your team. The future's bright, huh? Y'all gotta be in a loss. You gotta be feeling really good, huh?
I was stunned. Yeah, I just. He was in Tennessee and was
Yeah, I mean, the Stroud did it with his arm. I mean, his rookie year. That sophomore slump is weird. Now, Jaden is more of a runner, but he's you know, we want him to do it with his arm as well. Yeah, those third and fourth. How about 30 for 38? You know, it's when we're talking about when I say ESPN analytics show. Well, ESPN analytics is is Derek Carr your quarterback, or is it Jaden Daniels 30 for 38? So that certainly raises your aggression, and when you go for it and when you don't. But knowing what we know about him, Max, worried about a sophomore slump with Daniels?
I mean, it always is the case just because the expectations are so much higher. So what is a sophomore slump, right? CJ Stroud
what you saw with
one.
CJ Stroud was a sophomore
He
slump.
did have
Yes,
one.
okay.
But, what are the expectations? Are people lumping him in like a top 6-8 quarterback already? Because that's what people did with Stroud. And obviously he underdelivered, but he would have probably underdelivered a top 6 or 8 quarterback anyway. There are levels to it. Stroud definitely regressed a little bit.
Going into the season, remember that it was a fair. Who would you rather, Burrow or Stroud? That was kind of. I mean, if you do what you should, your quarterback should usually get better with time, and he should have gotten better, but he took a step back. There's no doubt about it. I just don't think it's going to happen with Daniels, Troy. I really don't. And I think they're going to surround him with just a little bit more explosive weapons, and away we go. I mean, they've got cap space. They've got, so they are going to, they're going to protect him, and they're going to. McLaurin he's an A level, weapon, but that's it. That's all you got. Eckler back in his day, maybe, but Robinson. These are serviceable guys, but they're not like McLaurin, like A-list weapons.
And we forget about Mahomes and the Chiefs winning all these Super Bowls as of late, but traditionally, you have won Super Bowls if you have a quarterback on a rookie deal that's really good. And that's what the Commanders have.
All right, to your other team, and locally on the hard floor, you got a great coach. He did so many great things at Providence in year 2, and it looked like, Georgetown, who's got a team this year. Now, it's kind of hitting a rough spot as of late, Troy. They're playing tonight. 5:30 our time, 6:30 yours. 3.5-point favorites at home against Butler. What's going on with the Hoyas?
The restaurant's great.
Okay. Catholic Leagues slash the Big East. Gotta love it up there. I tell you what, saw two teams that were red hot played on Wednesday night. Creighton was in, they just did this, and they won and covered. I like Creighton tomorrow on the road against Villanova as well, playing by far their best basketball of the season. Any other matchups that you've looked at today or tomorrow? Somebody wants trickling up right now at Bet Rivers.
Is that an 8? No, that ain't you. Is that an 8?
It is. I mean, Auburn and Ole Miss, man. We just got a lot of really good ones tomorrow. It's early, but early sort of indication of the more popular props for next weekend Super Bowl. Jeez. Wait. What is the octopus again? What is the octopus?
Same.
Oh.
It's happened.
Yes. There we go. All right, follow Troy on Twitter, X at Troy Macher. That's MACHIR. Troy, thank you. We'll talk to you on Monday, buddy. Have a good weekend. All right, don't forget our friends over at United Community Bank. United Community Bank. You know, running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Keith Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, and Dennis Willis to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Live at lunch, live at Ruffino, 104.5 ESPN.
Octopus happened 2 years ago in this game between Eagles and Chiefs. Hurts had a 2-yard run and he had a 2-point conversion.
So you ran 2-yard touchdown, ran a 2-point conversion.
I knew it happened recently. So yeah, just 2 years ago. That I'll pay about 10 to 1. I think.
10 to 1.
It's not a good option.
This guy had to lay 50,000 with 1,500. That's 30.
Oh really? Okay. I thought I remembered it. Yeah.
Smooth, tasting, evermore water is Mother Nature.
Actually, 33 to 1.
Evermore is natural artificial water. If you want it, I
don't know if you want Jimmy a real short sag. There's some reporting on Brandon Ingram possibly getting traded. Where he'll get traded, it seems likely he will get traded. The deadline's next week.
Say that for a second now. Okay. I'm going to mention this. 38, 35.
This was to tie at 35. Was winning to the offense.
With another major sweepstakes in 2025.
The Chiefs have lost how many Super Bowls? Doesn't mean they've won how many Super Bowls?
12 to 1 right now. Chiefs have won how many? Like in their tenure or recently?
They've won 3, right?
They've got 4 in their history, 3 in the last.
No, I'm talking about Super Bowl 4, Mahomes, this team. All 3 of them. 2 against San Francisco and 1 against, they were down double digits in all 3. So down double digits in the first one. Were they down double digits last year? We're down 10 at halftime against the Eagles.
No, they were down 10-3. That's a half.
10-3.
7. They've been down 7.
Honesty, integrity, attention to detail, and dedication. Lewis Mechanical Contractors has been providing top quality plumbing services to Baton Rouge since 1960.
There you go. Headline: Chris Chaney doubles down on Joe Burrow. Take like the dumber thing is, yeah, what's that? The Caliente, Charlie. Look at the races. Let me see if I got the tips. So we're talking about the octopus when the player scores a touchdown and the 2-point conversion. The same play. It happened last year.
2 years ago.
I'm sorry, 2 years ago. The same matchup, Eagles in Kansas City. They were down 35-27. The Eagles scored with 5:15 to go on a Jalen Hurts 2-yard touchdown run. Jalen Hurts rushes for a 2-point conversion. So that made it. Looking at the box score too, Philadelphia led at half by 10 points. The first San Francisco-Kansas City Super Bowl. The second half, San Francisco led by double digits. Last year's Super Bowl, San Francisco led by 7. So 7, 10, or 10. Double digits twice and 7 in the second. All second half deficits, substantial second half deficits. Note, put them away while you can. I mean, they are clutch. And that's the biggest thing. Yes, a little bit of luck when you win 17, but a lot of clutch. A lot of clutch. And that's where you see. Doesn't it seem like the Mahomes was a little bit sharper when he needed to be? I against Buffalo than what he was against Houston, than what he was again for big stretches in the regular season, Max?
They were trending even at the end of the regular season, just coming into the playoffs. But yes, the playoffs have been different. You know, Mahomes is different in the playoffs. I've mentioned before, he's one of the most efficient runners of all time as a quarterback. You know, he just manages to get first downs with his feet when he never does. You know, during most of the regular season, he's not really a runner. But yeah, he gets it done. One thing about the octopus, as you mentioned, it did happen 2 years ago. It's 12-1 the odds right now. But the 2-point conversions are just way more common. We saw it last week where if there's an offsides on the extra point, you go for the 2. Yes is only plus 105 to attempt a 2-point conversion. Just plus 105.
I've got some evidence. Charlie and gang at Cabo have found the Lucky Up race book.
Uh-oh.
We sent to Rob Henny's Gulf Street picks. So there you go.
Not catching fish.
Live at lunch. Live at Ruffino 1045. 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
With 6 grams of protein, or grab red bites, gluten-free, crispy chocolate chip mini cookies. Every purchase of LSU snacks directly supports LSU athletics. Order now at LSUsnacks.com.
This was Tulane's team, the posse. They would come in 15 minutes in the first half, the whole bench. Look how much they scored, the bench, 44 points a game. And it was press the whole time. 2 of the 4 double-digit scores were off the bench. It was just look who's doing the game. Jim
Brando, Jim
Coverage from the 2025 Reese's Senior Bowl. Alabama, Monday, January 27th through Thursday, January 30th. The Senior Bowl is
Curtis, you saw Trump was the place where we did our show for LSU USC in Las Vegas. We did shows in Las Vegas for the LSU USC game in this place. It's called Stadium Swim Circa. Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You know that just like this, the
Visit uniquephysique.com or call today to schedule a consultation and unlock your weight loss potential. Unique Physique, your weight loss solution. You know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room. The Crown Town Room is on the floor.
Help you save money monthly and essentially extend the living space of your home. Schedule a free home consultation.
yeah. It's a lot of money taken out. A lot. I mean, reducing the tax on chips would be one thing. Eliminate them is a whole thing. And I don't know, that's a lot of money. Everything's done on the card now. It's not just cash tips. Yep. 95% tips on a card, they're traceable. You understand? So, cash tips are very rare. Friday at Ruffino's is an exception. You think so? Curtis said we're in better shape. All right, let's go out to Las Vegas and let's get to the Circa craps tables. Our buddy Bruce Marshall been hunkering down with Donald Trump throwing the bones. Huh, Brucey? Oh, I mean, he does own the joint. You know, so it was the no tax and tips. I don't want to go political, but that has a chance to pass. I mean, maybe a reduction in the tips, on the tax and tips, but eliminating it? Really? It's a lot of money, huh? You're going to have to find somewhere else.
Well, I mean, I saw him.
No kidding, but I mean, it's got to. Well, you're going to have to replace a lot of money somewhere. So, I mean, yeah, no kidding. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe a reduction. My money's on a reduction, not on elimination. So, you know, Charlie's fishing in Cabo. He's down at the. Have you heard of the race book, Luckia race book? Have you heard of that? They're down in Mexico. You've heard of the Caliente. You've heard of the Calientes, huh? Are they still around? I mean, there's ones in Cancun and Cozumel, pretty much everywhere I've been in Mexico for, 30-something years. So that's always a fun. I'll never forget, that was back in the heyday. You know, we were talking about Dallas. Now they have the longest drought. You know, now Jerry Jones' son, Steven, says it's it's an urban legend that they haven't been to the conference championship the longest now in the NFC. No, that's data. But anyway, they said the so-called drought we're in. But I remember being in the Caliente, and man, they would get going, and Emmett Smith, Amit. Oh man, they love the Cowboys down in Mexico. Who would you rather be, Saints fan or a Cowboys fan these days? Somebody brought it up because the Saints have become a compromised organization as well. We know about the Cowboys being a compromised organization. Max, we've got one. Bruce is he on an island by himself, entrusting Wiki Loomis?
This is just too
Bruce,
bad.
this is very disappointing of you. I mean, we have run out of patience or trust with Mickey Loomis.
I mean,
So.
I cover the Browns all the time, and I was thinking even the Browns are in a better position. You know, they've got Deshaun Watson, they've got a nightmare, but at least they have the number 2 overall pick. But the Cowboys, I mean, that's tough.
So I just look at the. Miss Gale is very, very close to Loomis, close to Lauscher, and I think because of their relationships, I think that I don't know with anybody with keep in mind, Bruce, the Saints have been how long, Max, the worst salary cap situation in the league, and right now as we currently speak, it's not close to second, Bruce. Well, who's most responsible for that? Well, that would be your general manager. And your general manager, who was a capologist originally, when Randy Mueller, left, they never hired a general manager. They just promoted their capologist in Mickey Loomis. And we know during the Peyton era that Peyton trumped everybody on personnel decisions and these type of stuff. And then Mickey down there to have it. I just don't know anybody with his track record that would still have a job in the NFL. I loved watching the press conference where he Schottenheimer just sat there. Jones was going back and forth with the media. Like, who is this? It's so funny. It is so funny. Hey, what's your thoughts from the games last Sunday?
I was in a bad mood. Jimmy,
Yeah. Yes.
we're not fighting more.
Oh, not terribly with this because they didn't turn the ball over in the first two playoff games. They turned it over 4 times there. So, yes, Clark were the Eagles. The Eagles have a better defense than Tampa Bay. In the lines, for sure. But still, some of them were doing. So, yeah, when you try and get up, your ball security is compromised. We know about that as well. All right, college basketball. A few games tonight. A great card tomorrow. Bruce, a lot of the lines are trickling out as we speak, so if there's a matchup you're interested in, I can look up the line. We may have that for you, but who you got?
And how was I absolutely, that was my favorite of all the advertising. I get you off.
But you can get any of these if you want. You don't have to.
Avila.
You can get one. That would be
Eleven and a half currently right now at our DraftKings out. Maxine, the point guard's back for a while. You know, they had two guards. And one guy that played like 1 minute, and the other guy sat out completely. And the win at 10. Go ahead, go Bills.
I know.
Turn that around real quick there.
Oh, that would.
Hey, see what you're doing now?
Yes, that's what it is.
It tells me so much great.
Lamont Butler, the second leading scorer for Kentucky, is considered questionable for now. We'll find out for sure later today. But on the Wednesday press conference, Mark Pope sort of suggested he would not be ready to play if the game was that day. So I would sort of lean towards no on Butler.
When did they play Tuesday or Wednesday?
They played Tuesday and then Wednesday after the fact.
Okay.
He said he wasn't ready.
Okay. Right.
I've been letting her have a fun. It is so good. I want to see. Oh no! I'll be miserable. I understand now. As long as it's in front of me. Oh, I understand.
Yeah, Bruce, Joe Lenardi has 13 of the 16 SEC teams in the tournament right now. The 3 that he does not are LSU, South Carolina, and Arkansas. Arkansas was preseason number 16. So that's the biggest surprise. I mean, this is, they're talking about going sour quick at Arkansas. I got to think they're going to be in a rough spot tomorrow night in rough.
By the way,
Yes, indeed. So, anyway, all right, Bruce, we got it. Super Bowl's next week, some props and things like that. I know the Westgate revealed their props. That's still a big deal for some of the, because there's so much mobile outside the state as well that are available. Some of these props, the unveiling of the prop sheets for Westgate used to be sort of a big deal on Thursday evening.
I know they are. That's what Frank told me. It's fun.
It is tough. It is tough. Bruce, we appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week. Get your Super Bowl prediction and some of the props. All right, don't forget our friends at Los Reyes Mexican Grill on the Angels across the street from Mike Anderson's. Love going over to the Green and watching the college basketball on the way home. Love stopping down and seeing the games on the way home and get start off with that fresh guacamole. It's like little fresh jalapenos with it as well. A great margarita, all kinds of margaritas. Happy hour is outstanding, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week, and just a great spot. And you feel at home there, man. You know, Scott and Carl do a great job of running the place. Players on the guard. Tell them he said to tell you hello over at Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Lee, just off the Dickinson across from Mike Anderson's. Live at lunch, live at Ruffino, 104.5 ESPN.
Either one of them.
What's up, dude?
Just want to, I was supposed to have a client meeting at camp, so I was like, I'll go drop over here. See what he did. But see what he's doing. He said MDS right here. He's not loving league. I was like, cool. And he's like, well, Graham's I was like, well, go for it. Pick him up and bring him up. So anyway, they come up. We're gonna, yeah, they should. So I went there on the
That's really in the business of basketball.
First day of yeah.
So he was at that.
So they called Derek.
We also offer an unlimited $100 referral.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's not the corner of the store. It's yeah, they were basically, you know.
Community Bank.
Really?
Tex Morris and Edward Jones Investments. Service today, every day.
So Charlie, you want to weigh in on half a fish? Is the over under? Cabo and they get a fish one day. You get a half. Nobody's taking the over. All right, Max, you got your picks here?
I can get some.
You can get some. Come on, man. Oh, this time of the year, Mexico. Oh, shit.
Well, we got some friends that are like renewing their vows. Yeah, we went to
Oh, okay. No, no. Yeah, it's cool. Maybe she wants to go see Clint in Virgin Islands. Yeah, it was.
You want to do Pelican Saints up there?
Huh?
Pelican Saints up there?
All right, so here's where Max loves the Pelicans and loves the Saints and insists that he talks about them. I mean, you got something. I mean, they both suck. I mean, what do you got?
Yeah, no, just
give me some hope. I mean, come on, Max.
Bit of an update on the Saints. Diana Rossini from The Athletic,
Yes.
reporting that no candidates have been told they're out of the running yet. There's some scuttlebutt that Kellen Moore may not want the job due to the fact that the Saints don't have a quarterback in place, but he may have come around to the job anyway. Well, that's a good sign because I was sort of worried. Mickey Loomis did say that the new head coach would have, his sort of pick on whether Carr would be a long-term answer for them or not. So if Moore is not really sold that they have a quarterback, then maybe they.
I mean, listen, Derek Carr is. I mean, you rather Daniel Jones? I mean, that's who was available. Charlie did a very good job of saying, "Hey, look, this is available. What you want?" I mean, you're missing a fan base for a guy that. Why do they hate Derek Carr so much?
I think
he's very average.
His personality. He's not the worst player in terms of production, but people just don't like his personality. They don't think he's a leader. They've seen some, of his body language, at rough stretches, and he just comes off as a fake. That's just me. That's my understanding.
What? I mean. Is it kind of life after Breeze?
It is.
Whoever
that's
got to
be.
That's got to be.
That's a part of it. No doubt.
I mean, that has to be. Because I mean, if this guy came before Breeze, he'd just be, I mean, Aaron Brooks, I get it. His body language is atrocious. Okay, I mean, he looked like he didn't care when going off the loose balls. I mean, come off every throw interception laughing. Aaron Brooks way worse body language and things like that than Derek Carr. Carr's got time. He throws a beautiful ball. He's not Drew Brees. Oh, okay, yeah, this just in. Yeah, he's not Drew Brees. I mean, but he's still kind of. We want to rank 32 quarterbacks that started the majority of the games. He's about 18, 20.
That's where I have it.
I mean, average, mediocre.
But I guess where you are,
pick your adjective. But I mean, there's so much worse.
I guess with where you are, you have the second worst odds in the Super Bowl next year at 151. You'd rather just start over and try to find some quarterback who might have that higher ceiling than Carr has. But for what it's worth, if it's not Kellen Moore, I think the only option at this point, you might see Rizzi get the job. If
There's
not more.
no way. I mean, this Gale will. There's no way that there's embarrassment in it. Max, there's 32 of these jobs, and I don't care how poor the conditions are. There is so much more out there than your failed interim special teams coach. I mean, hire Charles Hannigan. I mean, really. Hire Mayo. I mean, there's no way Rizzo is getting that. I mean, she is not that dumb. Period. She's not that dumb.
The players have advocated for. I'm just saying, if their backup plan to Kellen Moore, to me, that would be the logical choice. I don't think it's Mike Kafka for the Giants.
Absolutely.
Anthony Weaver for
Anybody. You cannot have Rizzo because that tells you nobody wanted the job. And there's some people it's one of 32 in the world. There's still some value to this job.
That's what Mickey said. 1 of 32. Don't look at the results. 1 of 32. Somebody will want the job, right?
No. I mean, and to that point, just on that, I don't care where the source, whether it's Mickey Loomis or Bill Belichick. No, that is true, and there's some value to that.
It's true, but he said he has to admit that as well. That's 1 of 32, so somebody will want our job.
No. Loomis can't win.
Terrible press.
He can't win at this point. He needs to just stay away from the microphone and quit further damaging. Further embarrassment, because with the track record, there's nothing that he can say that is going to appease anybody. It's only providing ammunition to light his ass up even more. Because he doesn't get it. He has no PR finesse himself. I mean, that's obvious. I mean, he's arrogant. He insults his paying customers. I mean, and there is no general manager who can have his track record that still would remain in position. But the New Orleans Saints right now. And it's because of his relationship with the Scale and their families. It's just that simple. And everybody in the city knows it. It's no secret. But the Scale she's one of the greatest people I've ever come across in philanthropic ways. That was a miracle job that she pulled to reverse the legacy of Tom Benson. Yeah, it was unbelievable that she steered him in that way. Like, man, come on, man, your days are no. She did great. She's sharp in so many ways, but she's a poor owner because they're compromised. And you can't have an organization that's competitive that's compromised. It's just that simple. The Dallas Cowboys, when you have the owner's the GM and he's overseeing and he's going to hire coaches on certain conditions or reasons instead of just there's no reason the Dallas Cowboys should not have Bill Belichick. Absolutely not. Zero. But they're compromised, and if he's going to do it, Belichick might go in. Belichick will tell Jerry, shut the hell up.
Belichick would have got some attention at that press conference.
I mean, but yes, it just, he might get more of the limelight of the attention than Jerry Jones did. That is a problem when the media goes to you for post-game comments. They're way more interested in what you have to say than he does. So, great businessman. I mean, he's turned them into a profit. They're still there, but winning on the field is compromised, and this is too competitive when you compromise the organization to be successful. It's just a challenge. So Charlie, that's the greatest thing he's ever seen. Week at the all-important position of ownership. This is the greatest thing ever.
Also in the offices on Airline, the NBA trade deadline approaching on Thursday. The Pelicans will make some sort of trade to get on the salary cap. That's a given. but it seems like Brandon Ingram, the talks are ramping up. The rumors right now have them. Brian Windhorst is saying the Hawks are very interested. Now, you'll remember they already traded with the Hawks last year, bringing in DeJounte Murray, and you're making that trade. There was thoughts that Brandon Ingram would be part of that deal. He was not. But they've lost Jalen Johnson, a very underrated wing player for them. So he might be fitting into them. The Hawks are kind of going backwards. They're 9th right now in the Eastern Conference, so there's a thought he might go there. Also, a rumor that Brandon Ingram might be headed towards Miami as part of a Jimmy Butler deal. I don't know what you think about that, Jimmy. Jimmy Butler right now, he always wants out of wherever he goes.
I need Orlando and the Hawks to win the division. So keep coming up. And Miami's still in first place by half a game. So.
Yeah, they are 23-23 right now, but they're doing it without Jimmy Butler. I don't know if you want an aging Jimmy Butler at this point. 35 years old, always wants out. Is he going to come to New Orleans and finish his career here? We'll see.
He's 35, and he's not that far moved from carrying those teams in the playoffs. He's not that far moved. Nondescript game in the Pelicans division last night, though, but a key game. Houston winning most of the game. And Memphis scrambled back to beat them by 1. They would have fallen 2.5 back. Remember, we did that podcast where I got Houston win the division at plus 270. Pretty big bet. They're minus $3 to win the division with only a half-game lead. That seems so. Anyway, but Houston could have had 2.5. They're a fun young team. Tari Eason, big bucket last night. He's on the game in the final stretches. So I mean, they have some rotation. I'm not sure if he starts or not, but he is a main contributor. Of course, Jabari Smith, Jr. from Auburn, but they're a fun. The G League guys. They're fun to watch, man.
Well coached.
Yes.
Whatever you think about Ime Udoka, he's a good coach. He's got him number 2 right now in the West, so no doubt. But we'll see. I'm going to say he will not be the head coach next year. That's my guess.
You got some picks of college basketball? I do. You got some?
I've got some.
Marco, let's go.
All right. We'll start off with I've got nothing really tonight, but some Saturday games tomorrow. Florida, Tennessee under 140.5.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
You like Tennessee, but I think it's under. This first game was 73-43, so Tennessee couldn't score in the first game. Tennessee is going to not allow as many points, I think. They're going to really stifle Florida on the defensive end. 2 very good defensive teams in the conference. I like Auburn minus 5.5 against Ole Miss. It was a letdown spot maybe against LSU. They weren't very efficient on the road. Struggled shooting a little bit, but I think Ole Miss, to me, I'm not quite sold on them there. Sure, it's going to be a raucous environment there in Oxford, but I think Auburn's just the better team. I'll lay 5.5 there. Another team that I'm going to lay on the road 5.5 points, Michigan State. This is one of the better teams they've had. In the modern NIL, not ever. In the NIL era, this is the best team that Izzo's had. So I think the Spartans can go on the road. USC, not to me the biggest team ever. And one I should have asked Bruce Marshall about. He's been on the fade Doug Gottlieb train with Green Bay. We don't have a line out yet for this, but Detroit Mercy is hosting Green Bay this week. They're not a very good team. They're 7-16 in their own right, which means you're going to have a smaller spread here. We're projecting about 7.5 for Detroit Mercy to be favored by. Green Bay has only covered against the biggest numbers, right? They just covered a 14.5 point spread, 15.5 point spread, 21. When they're catching a whole lot of points, they can cover the number. But 7.5, Green Bay's so bad. I'll fade Doug Gottlieb. I'll take Detroit Mercy, lay 7.5.
Detroit Mercy minus 7.5. Michigan State minus 5.5 at USC. Auburn minus 5.5 at Ole Miss. Florida, Tennessee under. We're talking about 140. Boy, that thing is on the move down. It is.
Might want to get on that now.
Yeah, that thing is already going down like 5 points. All right, when we come back, I like the card tomorrow. I really like the card tomorrow in college basketball. I have my college basketball picks. When we return, we are live at Ruffino's, live at lunch. I made a mistake earlier. Restaurant week is good through Monday, February 3rd. So 3 courses for $60 tonight through Monday. Your choice of the 4 appetizers, crispy calamari, 3 appetizers: crispy calamari, smoked pork belly, or lobster ravioli. The 2 soups are salads: duck and andouille gumbo, peperata salad, and the 3 entrees: your crusted New Zealand lamb chops, fried speckled trout, crab meat, on top of an oven roasted prawn rib. We're on the 3-course for $60 tier of restaurant tables tonight through Monday here at Ruffino's. Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Is that 140 and a half everywhere?
Let me see if I can find a better one. It was 141 and a half when I last saw.
That's going to go down.
By the way, we didn't talk about it, but that LSU line opened 13 and a half, closed at 12 and a half. I had 12 and a half. Snooze, you lose.
That was not your normal move, though.
Right, for the dog.
Yeah,
but I guess the spot. Jimmy, looks like Vandal still has 141 and a half. Yeah, 141 and a half. I'm going to get on that.
Visit shopwellsally.com for complete offers. We can do it.
So they bumped us to yes. They moved the game to
I read that black folks like us. Mental health condition, 14, 16, are at high risk. I know you can do things essential for it. Remember, there are treating options for COVID-19. I promise that. Ask about my options. Visit newcoffreeguys.com to learn more.
And then Alabama on the road is tough. They can just talk on the road.
That's like all favorites. I don't like that. This is my instant reaction where I thought the lines were. Maybe Missouri catching 5.5. Well, now that's the road team.
There's this one saying
Rutgers had a nice bounce back. I was kind of thinking that would be a good spot.
They get off shots.
One of the kids had 30 something.
Did they play against Northwestern?
Ace Bailey, maybe? Yeah.
They get out. I had Northwestern. They just fucking did this.
I kind of like Rutgers. I thought about giving them out, but Northwestern's catching 1.5 at home.
Wisconsin's tough. They're hard out too. This is a hard game.
Road favorites. That ain't good too well. Oh boy.
Arizona State playing at 10 a.m.
Yeah, Colorado did that. Their games.
All right, here we go. Let's start off with one of the hottest teams in college basketball. Man, that was a great game on Wednesday night. Catholic League, the Big East. Creighton took care of Xavier the other night and covered the number. Now they're on the road in Philadelphia against Villanova, laying 1.5, Wyatt to 1. The Blue Jays, they are on fire as of like after a kind of a sketchy beginning to their season. We got Creighton -1 minus some juice there. South Carolina against at home in this one. South Carolina got against.
I'll tell you, Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Texas A&M pulled it out the other night. Out the road. Now they are laying. It's up to 6.5 right now as we speak. 5-7. Gamecocks are 0-8 to lead. The last 2 games at home have been heartbreakers. This time they get over at home. I'm considering the money line as well as +$2. So South Carolina led the whole way until they get it in Florida. They lost overtime to Mississippi State. Those teams are as good, if not better, than Texas A&M. This is the spot. There's still got some more support there. South Carolina plus just 6.5. I bet you on this one, Max. I'm taking Ole Miss at home plus 5.5. Chris Beard certainly has his team. Too much of heavyweights. Chris Beard, Bruce Pearl at home at the Pavilion plus 5.5. That's it means Ole Miss plus 5.5. The last 2 games, Auburn hasn't looked great.
No.
They 53-51 in an ugly rock fight against Tennessee last Saturday night on prime time. Then they come to Baton Rouge and it took 20 turnovers and 24 offensive rebounds to barely cover by half. Depending on where you were, because at one point you could have got 13 and a half to go right in the line with it. But I don't know. LSU's within single digits with those gross numbers on the offensive glass in turning the ball over. Toddy, that's almighty for me. Ole Miss plus 5.5. We're on the same page here. Florida and Tennessee. Tennessee loses at home against Kentucky. They've lost now 2 in a row, and everybody is down on them. Everybody's down on their inability to score offensively. And they're also coming with a huge revenge spot here. They were embarrassed. Got about 40 or so down in Gainesville. I think it was the biggest, the worst meeting one team has ever had. And so, just embarrassed. Florida did not let up in that game. Now Tennessee, embarrassed, revenge spot, those spots. What are they going to do? Will they do best? I don't know if they're going to light up and 3 all of a sudden, but I know they're going to defend their asses off. Tennessee is under 141.5 right now. Florida, Tennessee, under. Another home dog in the SEC. Sorry, not a home dog. Home team in college basketball in the SEC. Mississippi State at home. So Mississippi State, Missouri, 5 points for home court advantage. And they lost some tough. And Alabama is so tough on the road. Talked about it earlier in the week. Their style of play, Alabama seems to put them more at ease, more. They're familiar exactly what they need to do. They win a tough one on the road at home on Wednesday night. The kid on the breakaway with under 20 seconds to go down 1. He gets a shot blocked when he could have stuffed it for the dunk. And Mississippi State never controlled. They would have been up with less than 20 seconds to go. I think State bounces back here, minus a 5.5 against Missouri. I think their teams are close. I like State a little bit better. They need to win a game at home after losing on Wednesday night. And then a 10 a.m. local tip in Tempe, Arizona and Arizona State. Bobby Hurley's crew. Last Saturday, they were winning by 1 against Iowa State, catching double digits. They were catching 6.5 at home in a rivalry game. 10 a.m. start. Obviously favors the home team a little bit. It's a lot of points. Rivalry game at home plus 6.5. Give me Arizona State. So here we go. There's a 6-pack for you on this Friday. Great moves. Listen, all of these numbers, all of them are in a half right now. Buy into the whole point, whether they're kitchen or catching. So Creighton -1, South Carolina +7, Ole Miss +6, State -5, and Arizona State +7. So those are various mobile sports books that you can get the numbers, the best available number on those. So to remind everybody, our friends downtown, Baton Rouge, our friends at Jolie Pearl at Town Square Pizza, great place to play. You got the weekend brunch available at Jolie Pearl, and the piping hot fresh pizza coming out from Town Square Pizza. So where you stay in downtown for the weekend, hey, Jolie Pearl, stoppage within 5-minute walk of all the major hotels downtown. Jolie Pearl, we're pretty shucking good. And Town Square Pizza, Baton Rouge's best new pizzeria in town. Really good stuff downtown on North Street facing Town Square. Live at lunch, live at Ruffino's. We'll come back and wrap things up on this Friday edition. Charlie will be back on Monday. Monday will be over at Walk On Mr. Ryder and his great staff across the river. Matt's cornhole hangout. So we'll get that straight. How was it? Did you go across the river for the snow? You couldn't cross.
I couldn't cross. The bridge was shut down. Eventually, I made it over when the bridge opened just to kind of see something.
I'm sorry. We'll be there in a week. We're at the Queen. As we shift from Sunday to Monday, we'll be at the Queen Sportsbook, the DraftKings Sportsbook. I'll be there tomorrow. You look at that as well. So next Monday, we'll be at the Queen. Live at lunch, live at Ruffino's, 104.5 ESPN.
Start off the new year with Money Saving Kia.
Hey. Yes. Join me, Jimmy Ott, and Charles Henniger for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch, live at the DraftKings Sportsbook downtown at the Queen Casino. It's the Monday edition of Live at Lunch at the Queen, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Seth Straka leads.
Saw that.
Thought about him this week, but he doesn't have a great track record.
He doesn't have a great track record at Pebble?
I don't think so. I think that's why I got off.
What was his odds? Well, 50 after the win.
50, 60, I think. Nick Taylor's playing well. He's 7 under. Patrick Cantlay, that was one of Wes's picks. He's 7 under.
I got Cantlay. What about him?
He's 7 under, 3 back.
3 back.
JT just started.
What's the best?
The best time of year for football is finally here.
NASCAR race.
You mentioned yesterday when it said that LSU baseball's third in their own arena.
Who said that?
You would see that. And you were you on with me when he was on?
Yeah.
He kind of couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, like. I guess Nebraska is second behind their volleyball team. Oklahoma gymnastics got to be sell out every match, or meet, whatever. Taylor Williams had 37 points. Jesus. Doesn't say what she shot, like how many shots. So. Get the box score from last night? Pull up that LSU women's box score last night.
I knew it.
Well, I mean, these don't help me that way, but the light is not.
I'm so sorry.
All right, wrapping things up. Let's get a Pebble first. We got any of our golfers in contention now?
Sort of in the mix right now. There's a lot of guys. It's pretty wide open. A lot of birdies to be had yesterday and today. Seb Straka currently has the lead. Already has a win this season, but he's currently has a one-shot lead at 10 under par. He's 305 holes today at Pebble Beach. The few guys we have in the mix, I had Nick Taylor. He's 7 under 3 back. And also West Reynolds gave out Patrick Cantlay, who is 7 under. He threw 7 holes today at Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach playing a little bit easier than Spyglass Hill. It'll be the last day. They play 2 courses. They'll play Pebble both Saturday and Sunday. The whole field will. And then Justin Thomas just got his round started. One of our sort of consensus picks we had. Not an exact consensus, but me and Wes both liked him in some capacity. He is 6 under 4 back to start his round.
JT? What about Morikawa?
Morikawa, good start today, 2 under through 4, so he's 5 under. He kind of tailed on the back 9 yesterday.
Hendrick was 5 under yesterday.
Yeah, he just got his round started as well. So 5 back, it might sound like a lot, but it's a bunch right now. And there's so many birdies, it's hard to really separate yourself from the field. It's going to have to happen over 4 rounds. And we'll see maybe the wind conditions pick up a little bit tomorrow and Sunday. So the weekend might see a little bit harder scoring than what we're seeing the first 2 days, which especially the amateurs, they will not participate on Sunday. It's a pro-am, so I would expect a harder setup as well on Sunday.
So Straka is the leader right now, 10 under, 3 under today. Gets up and starts right out to sleep. He's right there in striking range. Where's up on that? What happened to that?
Just got started. He's even today, 7 under. So
4 holes. Okay, so you got to score, bro. Sam Burns, 6 under.
Yeah, you've got he's one of 21 players right now within 4 shots of lead. So just to kind of give you an idea, there's very little separation.
Yeah. Last night again, I forget exactly what it was, but it was the first SEC women's basketball game. It was the first LSU women's basketball game. It was the first women's basketball game period that both teams in regulation scored triple digits. 107 to 100, no overtimes. And it was, you talk about LSU with their kind of lack of depth, and, talking about South Carolina, and that's where the big advantage, and that's been for the past few seasons as well. But Williams, Flo J, and Morrow combined for 83 points. They scored 83 in the game. That's good enough. But they combined for 83 points. I mean, that's unbelievable. Huh? 37 for Williams, Flo J with 25, and Morrow 21 before she gets her double-digit rebounds as well. But really exciting game. LSU led by as much as 18 or so. Oklahoma scores back, gets it down to 1. With about minute 20, something like that. And then LSU scores the final 6 points in the game. A key 3 on that first possession by Williams, a steal and run out for a layup, and then they tackle 1 or 2 free throws. No.
Perfect. They were so efficient. I mentioned all three. I mean, it was Michaela Williams who had most of them.
Did you see the other boxer with the shots? Because the one I'm showing just shows the point total individual.
Yeah.
What percentage?
Yeah.
That Williams shot, what did she shoot?
She was 12-20.
12 for 20.
And like 7-12. So I mean, that was where most of their
what was LSU from for three?
46%. And then 23 of 32 from the free throw line. So they always are going to get to the line, but efficient from the floor as well.
Kenny White gave out the LSU Tigers last night in that one. Belushi split, had a lead. Minnesota wins easy, plus $1.24. Dog there, 4-0 over the Montreal Canadiens. Anaheim had a lead, nothing after the first period to lose in that one. So he split out with profits a little bit with the plus money on that one. So come out see us at the Queen. We'll be hanging out this weekend to watch the games. We're kind of with 5 week in the NFL. We're 5 week and they have a little skills competition, things like that. Joe Burrow making some headlines. A lot of people talking about what he had to say. He's calling for the organization to pay Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. This kind of something wrong with this is his employer, this is his organization, and does he have to publicly leave? They put pressure publicly on the organization to pay his guys.
Well, I don't know that they're going to get. I don't think it's reasonable that they're going to sign both of them. I think it's just so hard to invest so much into 3 players, so much of your salary cap. But Chase should have been paid already. They've actually hurt themselves by waiting this long because his value has gone up because he was incredible this year. But I think they're going to have to let Higgins walk. I would be surprised, although he wants them to get both. I think it's going to be a hard ask for them to have all 3 of them.
Don't forget again, Restaurant Week. We are participating here at Ruffino's this year. 3-course for $60 tier. Your choice of 3 appetizers: crispy calamari, smoked pork belly, or lobster ravioli. Choice of a super salad, the duck and andouille gumbo, or the burrata salad, and 3 different entrees to choose from: the herb crusted New Zealand lamb chops, the fried speckled trout topped with the lumbo cramp beef, or the oven roasted prime rib. That is good tonight through Monday night, February 3rd, here at Ruffino. We are going to be at the Queen on Monday, recapping all the college basketball action, some golf, and some other stuff as well over at the Queen Casino in the DraftKings Sportsbook for the Monday show. Charlie will be back as well to show off his picture with the big catch, I guess. What's next? Right here, live at lunch, live at Ruffino's, 145 ESPN Baton Rouge.